This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Invercargill High School students discover future prospects, and Dunedin gets ready to host its second annual Hope Walk this Saturday. And last week, slips cut off the Royal Albatross colony at Taiaroa Head. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. Invercargill High School students should have a better idea of their future prospects after spending time at Career Fest in Southland today. Local and national businesses have been demonstrating what they have to offer new employees at the ILT Stadium. Sharon Rees reports.
Like many of his peers, Southland Boys High School student Jordan Mayer is yet to decide which career path to go down. But he says with high-tech equipment such as the tree felling simulator he was glued to today, he's beginning to get a good idea. Career Fest Southland offered this kind of hands-on interaction at a variety of exhibits today, giving people of all ages a look at the options available to them.
Career Fest is not just about jobs. Career Fest is about people from the community, students and the adults, coming into an event to seek information about possible options of study or career pathways and what sort of prerequisites they have to go into those various roles within their careers.
Over 2,000 students from around the region will attend the two-day event.
Two biggest issues for teenagers today is one is they have very little limited knowledge of the world of work and what opportunities are out there, and the second one is about understanding themselves, their self-concept. Once they understand themselves and how they function, operate as a young person or a person, then they can understand that what aligns to them to be able to be post-environmental fit for them to go into. And that's hugely important today.
Exhibits at the event ranged from music and hairdressing to an extremely popular Defence Force stand. I'm Sharon Rees for The South Today.
Invercargill Police and Fire Services responded to an incident on Tyne Street where cordons were in place for a couple of hours this afternoon. A motel on Tyne Street, Invercargill, was cleared and nearby residences evacuated as a precaution, following reports of a strong chemical smell. Police diverted traffic and pedestrians to ensure their safety. However, cordons were taken down around 4:15 p.m. The fire service soon confirmed that the chemical smell was coming from an individual using cannabis oil, and police officers are still looking in the area for the alleged offender. Dunedin is set to host its second annual Hope Walk this Saturday. The event aims to create more awareness of suicide prevention in New Zealand. The city hosted its inaugural event last year, and organisers are hoping for an even bigger turnaround this time round.
Contrary to the popular 1970s song, suicide isn't painless. For many years, it's been a taboo which people are discouraged from talking about. Some of you may even be thinking about turning off this item. However, hope is at hand. Dunedin's Life Matters Suicide Prevention Trust's second annual Hope Walk is planned for this Saturday in the city.
So the Hope Walk is a movement for suicide prevention to raise awareness that started in Auckland last year. So it's a very recent movement. And Joseph, the founder of this movement, started it as just a gathering of his community, and soon enough it got spread out really quickly.
Hope Walk Dunedin coordinator Irene Fuertes says the job of carrying the banner this year has been taken up by Otago rugby players. Jonathan Ruru, Jonah Nareki, Donald Brighthouse, Tom Rowe and Mitchell Scott. She's pleased the players have agreed to be a prominent part of the event, as she says openly talking about the issue helps.
So my brother died by suicide 5 years ago. That was a massive blow to my family. I have been able to talk about it for the last 2 years, but I still get tears in my eyes. And the reason why I'm passionate about it is because, as far as we know, my brother was not mentally unwell. it was totally out of the blue. He was in a really good space, we thought.
Fuertes says the parade is due to depart the dental school at 10:45 and get to the Octagon at 11 a.m. She says there will be a multicultural welcome to those marching.
We will be received by the Otaiko Japanese drumming, which is so powerful. Then we have the Kapa Haka group from Queens and Kings High Schools, very powerful as well. And then we have our own fairy, Rainbow Rosalind, which is our Dunedin fairy. She will be performing for the families and for the children especially, although I love seeing her performing, and I'm a child at heart.
Irene Fuertes says the weather forecast for Saturday is fine but chilly, so the parade will definitely be on. She asks that people marching wear yellow, as the organisation believes the colour symbolises hope. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
A suspension bridge that collapsed during the floods last weekend is still awaiting a decision regarding its future. The historic suspension bridge at Sutton has spanned the Taieri River for over 140 years. The bridge has just undergone strengthening before it was destroyed. The scaffolding used in the repair work has still been in place when the floodwaters ripped through. The council is working with Heritage New Zealand to try and salvage various parts. Once an engineer's report is complete, a decision can be made on how to proceed with rebuilding the historic bridge. Slips from last week's downpour have cut off the royal albatross colony at Taiaroa Head. However, some staff have ventured out by boat to feed the albatross chicks. Rudy Adrian has more.
The report is that wildlife at Taiaroa Heads appears to be unharmed by the storm's onslaught. 3 staff caught a water taxi to Taiaroa Head so they could feed albatross chicks and check on the little blue penguin nest boxes. Upon weighing the chicks, it was decided they were in good health, with evidence that adults were still coming in from sea to feed them.
There was a bird that was weighed on Friday, the one that we were kind of a little bit concerned about was actually the same weight it was on Friday. So a good chance that an adult's been in, because there's only one adult feeding that bird and it's had a feed. We've given it a really good feed today. And our plan is to be able to use the water taxi to get in and out of here for the next few days till we get an update from DCC on the road access.
A large slip had damaged about 20 nesting boxes for little blue penguins, but it seems these nest boxes had not been in use.
There's surprisingly little damage in the colony. Most of it is okay. There are a number of nest boxes along this side here that are buried in the sand that came down the hill with a slip. And so far any other boxes that I found that were filled with sand did not have any penguins in it. Also, haven't found any dead penguins, haven't found any eggs washed away, nothing at all really so far, which is a huge relief.
The Dunedin City Council is expected to announce soon when the reserve can reopen to the public. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, one man's crusade to save the Dunedin chocolate factory, and Labour leader Andrew Little promises Queenstown 1,000 affordable houses if elected Prime Minister.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books, with the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
We're a 25 Moreau Place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St. Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
Hi, welcome back to Alex Campbell Menswear. Check out our fantastic knitwear selection. 25% off. Possum, merino possum, pure wools, wool mixes. Some of them are even New Zealand made. 25% off.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoura Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Jimmy's Pies and Dog with Two Tails Cafe proudly brings you highlights of the Dunedin Midwinter Carnival, featuring the Octagon Lantern Parade, this Saturday, 8:30 p.m.
Welcome back. The man behind an ambitious plan to save the Cadbury factory in Dunedin says he is now focused on establishing a craft chocolate company. Own the Factory is looking to work with Dunedin local brand Otago Chocolate Company to build a new artisan chocolate label. Rosal Lebon has more.
With the imminent closure of the Cadbury factory in Dunedin, it looks like there's a new cocoa bean baron in town. Own the Factory spokesman Jim O'Malley confirmed today he is focused on a new campaign to manufacture quality craft chocolate.
It will be primarily crowd-funded. The law sets crowdfunding at $2 million a year, so we can only go as high as $2 million through a crowdfunding environment, and then we will go to wholesale investors for the rest of the money. So when we made that announcement that we were pulling out of the Mondelez deal, we sent an email out to everybody who'd come to the pledge site, and we said, please, this is the reasons we're moving out and this is where we're planning to go, and give you feedback as to what you think as we go forward. And I got about 150 emails from that, and only 2 people withdrew. And the rest all said that they were really supportive of us going forward, even in this model.
He is presently working with Dunedin craft chocolate maker Ocho to see if the two enterprises can combine forces. O'Malley halted his bid to win a manufacturing contract from Cadbury parent company Mondelez at the end of June. He told the South Today Mondelez has remained disengaged throughout the process.
If a company was going to be shutting down a large industrial site, one of the things it can do before it exits is to try to help those who want to stay behind get up and get going. Obviously, when you do that, you're potentially a future competitor for them. I would say that in that regard, they didn't put very much effort into trying, and that's about it. I'll leave it at that. At this point, we probably won't have much more ever to do with them.
While operations won't leave Dunedin, O'Malley says it does not matter where the chocolate is made as long as jobs are retained.
Third-party manufacturing, or toll manufacturing as it's called, is a very low profit environment to be in, and the only reason we were starting there is because if we'd been able to get that, we would have been inside one of the buildings and we would have had some of the equipment. But once that opportunity's gone, the real jewel in the crown here is still the workers, not the building itself.
Dunedin Manufacturing Trust says the focus is on making chocolate and looking to the future with a business plan with Otago Chocolate Company. I'm Roselle Lebone for the South Today.
Labour leader Andrew Little last week promised Queenstown 1,000 affordable houses over the next decade if he's elected Prime Minister in September. But what else does he have in mind for the country's tourist resort? Mina Amso reports.
Andrew Little promised Queenstown 1,000 affordable homes over the next decade. But he went further than that, adding his party would support building the town's infrastructure to support the boom in tourism. He stopped short, however, of supporting a visitor levy.
I'm not going to make a specific commitment about that today, but look forward to an announcement in due course that I think will be of benefit to Queenstown.
How many tourists are too many?
Look, we don't have a view about whether there should be a limit on tourists.
He said Queenstown can handle high tourist numbers if the infrastructure was put in place.
We'll have an announcement to make in the next few weeks about how we think we can support that, support Queenstown and other tourist destinations.
He also wants to introduce a new form of funding for infrastructure,
whereby that can be financed in advance through infrastructure bonds, and those bonds effectively repaid through targeted rates. So we work with the local council on that.
Labour would also push for health services to be given a facelift.
We are saying health services, which have been starved of $2.3 billion over the last 8 years, we can do a lot better. We've got to make sure that because of the distances that people will have to travel for a lot of health care, we've got to be working on making sure there's a good hospital, good medical facility here, that we're supporting that, supporting good local ambulance services. In terms of other emergency services, upgrading the local fire service.
Little said his party is committed to supporting Queenstown through its unprecedented growth in the coming days. Mina Amso, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, the 60th annual dog sale was held in Gore yesterday. And while some people refer to autism as a disability, Dunedin artist Alan Hegan thinks otherwise.
Channel 39 brings you a series of 45-minute documentaries looking at the future and the past. Wednesday nights at 7:30, repeating Friday nights at 8:30, only on Channel 39.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Hi, welcome back to Alex Campbell Menswear. Check out our fantastic knitwear selection. 25% off. Possum, merino possum, pure wools, wool mixes. Some of them are even New Zealand made. 25% off.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Autumn is here. Too late to sow grass seed, but never fear. Ready Lawn is here. Ready Lawn, your perfect all year round solution. Call Ready Lawn today.
The University of Otago, New Zealand's only true collegiate university. For first-year students, the history, the expectations of excellence are
unfamiliar.
G'day, I'm next door.
Hi, next door. I'm Samantha Pascoe.
No, you're not. I'm Josh, Clyde, Science. And you are?
Sam, Hastings, Lauren Arts.
Tane, Auckland, Commerce. Osaka, Greece, Classics. History.
The 60th annual dog sale was held in Gore yesterday. Prices were up while the number of sheepdogs for sale was down. PGG Whites and Sheep and Beef representative Ross McKee says despite the lower numbers, there are still a lot of younger dogs up for sale and the good dogs went for good money. The overcast weather didn't deter buyers, and McKee says it's better than some of the other years they've had. Mike Joyce of Gore had the top selling dog of the day with 2-year-old Sid selling for $6,400. Dunedin artist Alan Hegan has a gift, autism. While many might hear the word and think a diagnosis is a disability, Hegan is proud of what he's achieved for many reasons. Daryl Baser finds out why.
To some people, being labelled with a condition like autism may be seen as a disability. However, it gives Dunedin's Alan Hegan the ability to clearly remember what he's seen and put it on paper. Hegan spent some of his early years flying between Christchurch and Invercargill, which inspired his early works.
Because it's what I've seen out the plane window when I've been flying to Christchurch.
Flying to and from Christchurch is a
To
highlight for him.
Invercargill. That's what I remember when I looked out the plane window, and that's what's given me ideas for painting my aerial views.
The show at Friendlink in South Dunedin is a 20-year retrospective, which has been selected from about 1,000 works. Speaking with his friend and Friendlink volunteer Danny Erickson, Alan Hegan says recently he's been inspired while travelling around Otago.
What I look at are some of the paintings I do by memory for what I've seen when I've been going out for my drives. I look at the different colours in the sky and the different colours in the hills.
A US professor of neuroscience, Michael Ullman, is just one of the academics who's researched autism and has found many people with the condition have photographic memories. Alan Hegan explains how this helps his process.
And I remember, I have what's called a photographic memory, and I remember it, and I do the pencil outlining of it and on cartridge paper, and then I paint it. Memorise it and paint it.
Danny Erickson says many of Alan Hegan's early works were hidden away, and she's just helping him bring them into the light.
When I met Alan, most of these paintings were under his bed. Yeah, so we decided we wanted to get them out and so people can enjoy them, put them on their walls.
Alan Hegan says he's created some scenes from his imagination as well, and one of them sold in Wellington for a princely sum.
It was about nearly 3 years ago I entered the IHC Art Awards, and I did a picture of a lake scene in my head, and I got picked as a finalist and got to go up to Wellington to the IHC Art Awards, and I sold the picture of the lake scene I did in my head for $400.
His exhibition at Friendlink on Hillside Road was to have closed this Friday, but is being extended because it's so popular. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. Invercargill High School students should have a better idea of their future prospects after spending time at Career Fest Southland today. Dunedin is set to hold its second annual Hope Walk this Saturday, with organisers hoping for a large turnout to raise awareness of suicide prevention. And slips from last week's downpour have cut off the Royal Albatross colony at Tairoa Head, and staff ventured out by boat to feed the albatross chicks. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Dave Cannon.
Lucy, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Well, as you can imagine, when we're running again today, we're still running quite a lot of stories about the flood in Taieri, but also we've got stuff on from Milton as well as Oamaru to clean up. Our main story tomorrow is about a couple out at Otakai Road West who are a couple of days away from calving with their dairy herd, and they are basically submerged out there, so they've got a real issue there with calving so close. So
yeah.
Lucky old them, I don't think. There's a suggestion that the flood this time was actually bigger in volume than the 1980 flood, the disastrous flood from 1980. So we've got some facts and figures and a graphic on that as well. And just a general sort of wrap really on what all the clean-up's going on. So it's a big issue for us as well.
Other stories tomorrow include a new species of sunfish, which someone's claiming is new. Apparently, been hanging up in the museum a picture of one for quite some time, so we don't know how new this species actually is.
Doesn't sound that new.
Sunfish doesn't sound too happy about it either. There was a while ago we had a bit of a move to try and save Cadbury's chocolate factory, and the man behind that is now announcing new plans for a deviation of that plan originally to sort of set up a boutique chocolate industry in Dunedin. So we've got some details about that. Story from Wanaka about special grass up there which doesn't attract birds, because birds like grass, and that by growing this grass around the airport they reduce the amount of bird strikes for planes. So that's obviously quite unusual and a bit different.
Yeah.
And in the Wash column tomorrow, we are inundated with stories about people's false teeth. I know you've got your own, I've got my own, but I did invite readers to talk to us about dentures and false teeth, and there's been quite a big response to that. So there's a few funny stories there about people losing their teeth and other things. And we've also got some more, on a more serious note, on the Sutton Bridge, which has been destroyed, I think, up near Middlemarch, and we've got some good photographs in there and some more memories about that beautiful old bridge which was built in 1885 and survived every flood until now. So it's quite sad for the Middlemarch and Sutton locals that it's gone.
Yeah, there's a lot of distraught locals.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you for that, Dave.
No trouble.
And now, what's happening with the weather?
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silberhorn Sportsval.
Starting with today's southern view, a rainbow is pointing the way to a pot of gold in South Dunedin. Looking at the situation, wintry showers will clear tonight and weather turns fine tomorrow, followed with frost tomorrow night. A fine weekend lies ahead with plenty of sunshine and light wind, and in the southern outlook, Balclutha, Catlins, Gore and Lumsden, you've got light wind, sunshine and 7 degrees. To the central outlook, it's light southerlies and clear skies. Queenstown and Wanaka have a chilly 6 degrees, while Alexandra and Te Anau are fractionally warmer at 7. To the northern outlook, it's light to moderate southerlies and becoming fine. Omarama and Twizel peak at 6. Along the coast with Oamaru and Timaru, it will be 8 degrees. Here in Dunedin tonight, showers will clear with an overnight low of 2 degrees. Tomorrow has sunny periods increasing and the very cold moderate southwesterly winds dying out. Frost at night, 7 and a -1. Fine and sunny on Saturday, 10 and a high of 10 and a low of 0. And in Invercargill tonight, becoming fine tonight with an overnight low of 1. Mostly fine and sunny tomorrow with cold southwesterlies dying out. Frosty at night with a high of 8 and a low of -1. And fine on Saturday with moderate westerly winds, a high of 10 and a low of 0 degrees. And that's our news for this Thursday. For the latest Southern Region news, you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook and at channel39.co.nz. From the South team tonight, good night and stay warm.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.